Hello, I'm Drake. Welcome to Working Dragon Mystic, where we discuss real metaphysical and occult content so you can manifest real and tangible results in your life. This week, we're going to be talking about the 44th spirit of the Goetia Shax. But before we get into that, I want to ask you to head over to workingdragonmystic.com, where you can find our online community full of great people hanging out and sharing their experiences with the cult, as well as ongoing community-based experiments and testing and spell sharing, and a supporter-only section of the community too, if you're interested in that, where you can get access to a good chunk of the online school, as well as free access to all the online school workshops whenever we do the live workshops. And with that, I should also say, at workingdragonmystic.com, you can also find the online school with online courses and live online workshops to help you learn more about your practice and you. All right. With that said, let's go ahead and get into the video for today, shall we? All right. Sax, the 44th spirit of the Goetia. In the Goetia, his appearance is listed as a stock dove with a hoarse yet subtle voice. Um, I'll be honest, I've seen a dove's head when I've worked with them. I've seen a human. That's pretty straight. That's what I've seen. I have seen a time or two where this one has actually shown up in a feminine appearance, but I've never actually seen it just show up as a dove talking. The voice does seem hoarse in all occasions when I've worked with them. I can't think of a time when it wasn't hoarse. So there is that. Going on through here, the rank of Sax is Marquise. The metal most often associated with this spirit is silver. The planet most often associated is the moon. Color most often associated is violet. And the element most often associated with it is air. And since we have that relationship to a bird, I kind of can understand that one. Um, Now, obviously, the next thing we want to know is where are the areas that this entity can help if we're working with it. Its original purpose in the Goetia was steal money from kings, fetch horses for the magician. Not the biggest help to most modern magicians, in all honesty, especially in an age where horses aren't traveling really much. That being said, however, we do have some modern uses that myself and a lot of others have had success with. First one, cause an enemy or opponent to trust you so that they will not expect any attack or put up any defense to whatever your plans may be. I've heard a lot of people use this and get great results. I can't say I've ever really used this. Like, I see the absolute tactical advantage. It's just me. I would prefer, if I earn somebody's trust, I want to keep that trust. I don't want to manipulate it. So I think I would probably go a slightly different direction here. But I know a lot of people have used it to great success. Next one is making enemies' plans go off course. That one I've used hands down. And this one can be handy. And this doesn't have to be like a full-blown enemy. This can be someone who is just an opponent to you. So I know one individual who was having very difficult issues with someone in a competitive sport. They used this and it caused the other individual's training regiment to go off course and they weren't ready for the competition. Um, you can call that bad sportsmanship. I would probably agree, but at the same time, I know why some people would do that. But when it comes to an actual enemy, maybe you're competing for a promotion. I can see why a magician might utilize this. Next one, create mental confusion in a person. Straight up, I've used that one. A confused person is easier to deal with, almost on any circumstances, whether you're arguing with a manager, a coworker, whatever. If you can cause them confusion, you can get a leg up in most situations. That one I've used. I've used it a few times to get people confused and tripped up, slow them down. And I've had good success with it. I always try to use it in a way that's not going to hurt them or leave them with long-lasting ill effects in any way, just to slow them down and trip them up for a bit. But that's me. Other people have and probably will use it in other ways. Next one is to cause someone you distrust to make mistakes that reveal secrets to you. Hands down, this is the thing I go to the spirit the most for, if I go to the spirit, because yeah, there's plenty of people who have adamantly earned my distrust, let's say. And these are individuals that hands down, they're gossiping or whatnot, and they may have bits and baubles and secrets that could concern you, or could even be directly about you. And you can utilize this to actually get them to make mistakes, blab to the wrong person, make sure that information gets to you if it's there. If it's not there, it won't get to you. But in every case where I've used this, several bits of information have always made it to me that were quite enlightening, let's say. So yeah, there's that. I've actually had pretty good success with that one myself. You guys probably want to see the sigil, so we'll go ahead and get that up on the screen here. Pretty straightforward sigil, nothing overly fancy about this one. All right. Um, my experience with this spirit, we kind of already went over. I've had good luck with this spirit. Like I said, the main thing I use it for is to get people I don't trust to spill the beans and let things slip and come my direction so that I'm informed of their going-ons and their treacheries and things like that. And it's been very, very successful. It really has. Outside of that and the confusion, I personally have not worked a lot with the spirit in too many areas. I do notice, and this is an interesting thing for me, that money does not really show up in most people's workings with this spirit, and I find that interesting. Um, I've played around with some prosperity magic with this spirit to see what would happen. I've not gotten any good results in the setup so far. Um, I still plan a few in the future, and if I get any successful results, I may update you all on that. So I do find the original Goetia's thing a little interesting. And as far as the stealing of horses, I had one magician say that horses are about progress and movement. And so when we're looking at the confusion, the tripping up and the slowing down, that would cover the horses, because not only does it slow down your opponent, but it speeds you up as if you stole their horse. So he's looking at it more of an analogy, and that could be the case. I've not tried it with anything dealing with horses, so what can I say on that? But I figured I'd share those thoughts with you all the same here at the end. All right. With that said, if you enjoyed this content, be sure to hit the like button, give us a thumbs up. It helps with that algorithm. Also, consider subscribing to the channel and turning on notifications so you're notified anytime we release a new video or go live. We go live every Sunday for Magical Coffee Hour. And again, check us out over at workingdragonmystic.com. Join our online community. Consider supporting the channel over there and becoming a Working Dragon Mystic supporter and getting all those perks, the monthly spell working, access to many of the online classes, all of it. All right. Until next time, everyone, take care. Goodbye.